Welcome to an all-new edition of Sports Talk NYC. Of course, it's been a while. I've been busy, working, not working, looking for work, so on and so forth. Gotta keep going. But at any rate, let's not bore you with that. Obviously, this is sports talk, so let's talk sports. I've been out for a while, so this is going to be the first video. And of course, if you know anything about me, if you know anything about what I do, what I love, my passion, I love professional wrestling. So it's only fitting that the first video I do in a while is for wrestling. So let's get to it. Alright. A lot's been going on. It is March 8th, Friday, March 8th, and we're about a month away from WrestleMania. I'll get into that later in different videos, but this in particular video, we're going to get into something I saw last night. And I'm sure a lot of people saw last night. If you were, anywhere near your internet, your computer, Facebook, whatever. If you're anywhere on the internet and you're a wrestling fan, you saw this last night. The unmasking of the generic one, our favorite mask luchador, El Generico. Now, the feedback has been coming in, and it's been exactly what you think it is. Completely negative, hating on the WWE, so on and so forth, myself included, because obviously I'm an El Generico fan. If you can find me on Facebook, then you'd know my profile picture is a picture of me and Generico at Final Battle 2012. So, obviously, big fan. And carrying on here, the feedback's been negative, and rightfully so. Uh, the WWE signs Generico, and you would think that they would sign him based on the fact that he is one of the best independent wrestlers out there, and you think they'd sign him based on the fact that he's got the mask going, he's got the gimmick going. That's what's been working for him for the last 8 or so years. Why on earth would you change that? You know? It's not like the WWE has anybody working for him now with a mask that's doing any good. The injury-prone Rey Mysterio probably on his way out fairly soon. And then you have the botch fest that is called Sin Cara, who hasn't exactly worked out or translated the way the E wanted him to. And then after that, you don't have anyone else. You could have easily slotted Generico in there and said, "Listen, we're gonna let you keep your gimmick here, and we want you to sell," because that's exactly what his gimmick would have done for them. It would have sold. The mask, hell, even the cape, the whole gimmick would have been, from a business standpoint, the best thing the WWE could have done. And now they've unmasked him. Not to say that they can't remask him, but, I mean, how often has that actually happened? And I think the WWE is really losing out here. Now, looking at it from another perspective, right? Let's look at it from a different point of view. Maybe they gave it up to Generico. Maybe they said, "Listen, do you want to keep your luchador gimmick?" And maybe he said no. Maybe, and this is something that's certainly been said a lot on forums and all these other places, that maybe he's not keeping the gimmick, that way the WWE can't take his gimmick, because obviously that's been done before. We've seen it with guys like Brian Kendrick, who used to be under the name Spanky, and they took Spanky, and he's pretty much been wrestling under Brian Kendrick ever since, and I'm certain that's happened to other wrestlers along the way. That could be an actual, reason. Who knows? We're all just fans. None of us are really insiders except for the actual insiders. But that could also be a reason. I would probably put that under the highly unlikely, just because, once again, from a business standpoint, why wouldn't you do this? I mean, even for Generico, it would probably be worth the risk of him saying, we're going to do this gimmick. They're probably going to own it, but it's going to make me money. this is where my career is going. I'm going to get to make a lot of money. I have a career here now, and so on and so forth. Because the thing is that th- that's been his gimmick for the last almost a decade now, if not more. And it's like, we've never really heard him cut a promo. We've never had to see his face on a weekly basis or on a event by event basis. You know, he's always been Generico. He's never faltered away from that. So now he's going into this whole new dimension, which may add a whole new layer to what we know as Generico. But can he become marketable without everything that has made him marketable? Can he cut promos? Can he talk? I've heard him talk. He has a very thick accent, and his English is probably pretty good, but his accent is pretty thick. So can he actually get across to, you know, the WWE fans? I mean, we've seen a whole slew of international wrestlers come in the last few years. What with guys like Sheamus and Barrett and Antonio Cesaro, especially. So many guys with these accents that some of them are thick. It's hard to understand them sometimes. I don't think I have that problem. But thinking about it from the core demographic of a WWE audience, the kids, will they be able to really grasp to this guy now? Because he's not Generico anymore. He lost the mask. He lost the cape. He's not Generico anymore. He is whoever the WWE will appoint. You know, whatever name they'll give him, whether they'll let him go by his real first and last, or whether they'll come up with they'll type in something into their generator and hope something good comes out of it. At any rate, time will tell. I think the WWE made a mistake, to tell you the truth. And if this was up to Generico, I think he might have even made a mistake himself in this. But obviously, can't speculate. You always have, if you're ever gonna blame someone, you have to blame management. You know, I know that sounds like a terrible thing to say, but if you're gonna blame someone, blame management, blame Vince McMahon, blame the people in power, because in truth, they are as egotistical as it comes. And this is no secret. You don't even have to be a quote unquote insider to know that Vince McMahon's ego is the biggest thing he has. You know, at the end of the day, when he's signing all these indie superstars, when he's signing all these credible names on the market, he brings them in and he tears down any past gimmick they could have ever had. And then he renames them, he throws in a new gimmick, and he, takes their wrestling skills and cuts them in half, tells you, listen, you only got 5 to 6 moves that you're going to pretty much hold yourself to. And that's it. So they pretty much do this 360 with these great indie superstars, and some of it works. Sometimes it works. But the egotistical people over there, they want to be able to say they made you. Okay? That's what I think. They take guys like Chris Hero, they take guys like Antonio Cesaro, Generico, Brian Danielson, all these guys. They take them and they say, listen, we're going to change you. And really, in the end, all they're doing is that at the end of these guys' careers, they want to be able to say that they made them. We made you. Okay? Anything that happened before WWE didn't count, wasn't important, made no significant importance in your wrestling career until you got to the WWE. And that's where I think they go wrong. They really belittle independent wrestling. Meanwhile, most of their top guys, or most of the guys that the fans really, really enjoy, are indie guys. The CM Punks, the Daniel Bryans. The fact that Cesaro, he's getting over. He's only getting over with real fans. He's not really getting over so much with kids. Go figure. So in the end, the people at the WWE, the higher powers, they just want to be able to say, we made you. And that's it. And it's a sad thing, because I feel like had you left these guys alone, they would make it, no matter what. But the WWE doesn't think that way. They want to be able to say, we made you. And that's partly probably because, they've been just ripped a new one, if you will, by guys in the past. Guys like Hogan and guys like Bret Hart, who were able to jump ship. The Kevin Nashes, the Scott Halls, the people who were able to jump ship and actually make it somewhere else. You know, and even to an extent, guys like Kurt Angle, who jumped from WWE to TNA and has helped make TNA a formidable opponent. I don't really care what anyone else says. They are formidable. So I think it's people like that that have pretty much got under Vince's skin. Hogan wasn't supposed to make it anywhere else. Bret Hart, Vince would never want these guys to make it anywhere else. You know, in the end, he always has and always will want to be able to say, "We made you."